Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Arya and today we're doing a massive book haul. So before I get into the actual book haul, I wanted to say a few things. This is gonna be like a quarantine book haul, and it's gonna be essentially all of the books that I have gotten since the start of quarantine. And here in the UK, that was, I think, maybe sometime in April or May. So this has been like, how many months is that? Like 6 months of book buying. So yeah. But even so, with that in mind, these are still a lot of books because I clearly have a problem. And I would recommend you not go this crazy on book buying because you will probably regret it. And because there are so many books in this book haul, I think I will split it into two parts so it's not like an hour or 2 hour long video. And also, in order to not make this video humongous, I will not go too much into depth on the synopses of these books because, well, for one, I don't really know what most of these are about, and second, even if I did, I do not remember by now. So because of that, I'll just try to like explain the books that I know what they're about in just a couple of sentences or maybe a few words, or I'll just see how it goes. And the last thing before I dive in is that I've separated these books from where I got them, if that makes any sense, because there's no rhyme or reason to these books. It's just a little bit of everything. So yeah, let's start. So the first category is going to be books that I got secondhand, and I'll just mention where exactly I got the books from for each book individually. So let's start. The first book I have here is a very well-known book, and that is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a contemporary romance novel, and in here we follow the first son of America and the Prince of Wales, and we see how a romance develops between them. And I am extremely excited to read this one, and you will probably hear me say that for every single book, and honestly, it's true. I am genuinely excited to read every single one of these books. The next book I have here is A Dangerous Alliance by Jennieke Cohen. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but yeah. This one I've already read and enjoyed. And this is like a Jane Austen inspired type of historical romance. It was pretty cute and easy to read, and I definitely recommend if you're into this kind of stuff. I forgot to mention where I got the books from because classic. So the previous one I got from Depop, and this one I got in an auction from eBay. The next book I have is The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. This one I have not read yet. I got this one from Depop secondhand, and I have no idea what it's about apart from the fact that it's fantasy and it has magic and there's something to do with crows, and that's about all I need to know because I remember when I read the synopsis, it sounded really good, and it's also a very hyped book. So I'm actually pretty sure I'm gonna love it. The next books are all from a series, and that is Aurora Rising and Aurora Burning. And I also have the Illumicrate edition of Aurora Burning, and because I cannot hold all of these, I'll just put the Aurora Burning down. So yeah, I have Aurora Rising. This is the signed Forbidden Planet edition, and so is this one. And I think I got these two from also an eBay auction. And the Fairy Loot edition with the blue sprayed edges, I do not remember what I got it from, to be honest. So these books are sci-fi, and that's about as far as my knowledge on these books go. But I've been wanting to get into sci-fi, so I've been planning on getting like a few very hyped sci-fi books and see how I feel about them, and then take it from there. And so these are the first sci-fi books that I have purchased. The next book is Goddess and the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. This is the Owl Crate edition with the golden edges, and this edition is just gorgeous. And it's also signed, and I got this one from Depop as well because I'm not subscribed to Owl Crate. The shipping is way too crazy to ship in the UK. But anyhow, this book is, I believe, also like sci-fi and fantasy. So I know that we follow this girl and she wakes up many years later from like cryo sleep or something like that, and the world has changed completely, and they start to worship her, like the people in the future civilization start to worship her as a goddess, but obviously she's not a goddess. So it sounds like it's going to be great. The next book I have is Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. This one I have not read either. Most of these I haven't read it yet because university has been crazy and no time to read, unfortunately. I'm very sad about that, but what can you do? So this is the Fairy Loot edition with the green sprayed edges, and green is my favorite color, so this is like the dream book for me. And I also got this one on Depop. And again, I know nothing on what this book is about, only that it's fantasy and there's magic, and don't need to know more, honestly. If there's fantasy and magic, I'll probably read the book. That's about it. The next book I have is The Midnight Light by Marie Rutkowski. This is the Illuminated edition, and also got this one from Depop. Have not read this one yet. I very much want to read it. I am dying to read this book because I know it is not only fantasy magic and like Kingdom Court stuff, but it's also sapphic. So that just makes it even better. Yeah, cannot wait to dive into this one. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I hope it's not too late. So we're gonna start going through this stack now. So the first book is Great Goddesses by Nikita Gill. This is a poetry book about Greek mythology. So this basically takes Greek mythology and starts right from the beginning and then just tells different Greek mythology stories up until like modern time and what the Greek gods are doing now. And it tells all of these things through poems. So this was pretty cool. I've already read this and I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3 stars if I'm not mistaken. I will link my Goodreads down below so you can see all my reviews if you want to. No need to. And yeah, if you like poetry and Greek mythology, I would recommend this one. So the next 3 books are like a poetry collection trilogy thing, and that is The Princess Saves Herself in this one, The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one, and The Mermaid's Voice Returns in this one, all 3 by Amanda Lovelace. I have already read these ones and they were not too bad. They were actually pretty good. I did enjoy the poems, but some of them were really hard to get through because they're very personal and there's many trigger warnings like eating disorders and abuse, sexual abuse, self-harm, and literally every single trigger warning that you can think of is in these books. So tread carefully if you want to read them. But yeah, they were great, and I did not give them a rating because the author talks about her own life through her poems, and it doesn't feel right to rate that. But yeah, if you like poetry, give these ones a shot. And also the last one, the mermaid one, was my favorite out of all 3. And I forgot to say where the poetry books were from, so all 4 poetry books were from Depop as well. The next book is a very special one, and that is the Waterstones edition of Chain of Gold. I unfortunately did not manage to get this one from Waterstones, so I was trying to get this secondhand at a more reasonable price because these tend to get sold for crazy prices. So I did manage to get this one for a fairly okay price, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. And unfortunately, I have not gotten to Chain of Gold yet, but it is my mission to read Chain of Gold at the start of 2021, which it also feels crazy to say 2021, like what? But yeah, Chain of Gold. The next book I have is Beyond the Black Door by A.M. Strickland. This one, not read yet. as well. I think I got it from Depop if I'm not mistaken. And this is about this girl and she can access people's souls through doors. But do not quote me on that. But I remember when I read the synopsis, it was very interesting and unlike anything I've read before. So I'm very excited to see what this book is about. And also, I've heard that there's a sexual rep in this, which is great. The next two books I have are also from the same series, and that is Gideon the Ninth and Harrow the Ninth. So Gideon the Ninth, I'm pretty sure I also got from Depop. I'm not 100% sure though, but Harrow the Ninth I got from Illuminate. I just wanted to put them together because they are from the same series. And unfortunately, I did not get to these yet. I am literally dying to read these. They're like calling my name because I know they're about necromancy and they're also sapphic, which sounds fantastic. But they will have to wait until I get to them because honestly, I wish I had like 10 pairs of eyes so I can read 5 books simultaneously, but unfortunately, I don't. The next two books I have are also from another series, and that is Wicked Saints and Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. These ones, also from Depop, I know absolutely nothing about them. Like, nothing. Obviously, they're fantasy, but nothing else. They look very dark to me, like this kind of like dark type of fantasy, so that's why I'm attracted to them from a reader's point of view, not actual attraction, because that would not make sense. But yeah, I very much want to read these. They're also screaming my name, as is every single unread book on my shelves. But alas, know nothing about them. I cannot tell you what they're about. Honestly, I don't even need to. I prefer going into books not knowing too much. I think that is the best way to read books because most of the times synopses spoil stuff and I don't like that. So yeah. Next one is Blood Air by Emily Van Zhao. Hope I said that name correctly. And this is the Illuminate edition with the blood dripping thingy, which is super cool. This one, I know it's about this princess or heir. Basically, she's the heir to the throne of some kingdom, and she can bloodbend essentially. So she can control people by controlling the blood inside them, which is super cool. I got like a chapter sampler and I read the first 2 chapters and fell in love and then immediately had to get it because I know I will love this book. So if that sounds like something you'd like, give it a try. So now we're going into the next category, which is sort of like miscellaneous. So I got these books from different places and then they didn't really belong into any category. So yeah, the first book from that stack is How to Read Tarot, a Practical Guide. And there's no author on this book, which is very strange. A book with no author. But yeah, so essentially this book teaches you how to read tarot, and I've been getting into that lately, and I want to know how to properly do it and study more of this spiritual stuff. So one of my dearest friends gifted this to me, so I am very grateful and I'm very eager to learn once university gives me some more breathing room. The next couple of books are kind of all from the same place. So I got these from a charity shop, Oxfam. So if you're in the UK, you've probably heard of it. The first one I got from Oxfam is The Way of All Flesh by Ambrose Perry. So don't know what this is about, but this is giving me like Edgar Allan Poe vibes and like Victorian historical fiction vibes. And I like that kind of stuff, and I want to read more books with that kind of vibe because I haven't read that many, if any, to be honest. No, I did read one at least. But anyways, I do like movies with these kinds of vibes, so I wanted to try books with these kinds of vibes, and I saw this one at a charity store and I got it. The next one is The Muse by Jessie Burton. Again, know essentially nothing about it, but I know it's like a historical fiction type of book, and like I said before, wanted to get more into that, so I got this one as well. Also from Oxfam, I got I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Yeah, so this is just a contemporary book that I know nothing about. And sometimes I'm in the mood for contemporary, so I tend to like hoard a couple of them so I can read them whenever I'm in the mood. And then when I run out of contemporaries, I get a couple more. So I just got this one. I heard good things about it, so I think I will enjoy it, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And the last book I got from Oxfam is 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari. Hope I did not butcher that completely. So this is a nonfiction that tells you literally 21 lessons about the 21st century. And I've been wanting to get more into nonfiction lately. I've read a couple, so I'm just getting a few more that are very acclaimed and recognized. So this is one of them. I'm pretty sure you've seen this everywhere, at least in bookshops. So found this secondhand. I snatched it, to be honest, because I don't think I ever would have bought this hardcover full price. Next up, I have one of my favorite books of all time, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and this is the Illumicrate edition with the blue sprayed edges. Unfortunately, it is very hard to find the UK hardcovers because they're out of print and they're being sold right now for exorbitant amounts of money. So I got this one from a trade. So I traded one of my books for this one, and I am very happy to have this in my collection. I am frankly ecstatic. And if you have not read this yet, please, I beg of you, read it. Next up, I have a Shadow and Bone type of ARC edition. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but this one I got for free. Basically, at my older student accommodation, when people left, they tended to leave things they didn't want to bring back with them there. So this was just lying there for no reason, so I just picked it up. I'm sure nobody is missing this. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Never seen this book before. I mean, I've obviously seen this book, but not in this format. So I think it's just a cool thing to have in my collection. And the last ones I will talk about in part one of this crazy book haul are the Avatar comics. So here I have the first 5. So I have The Promise 1, 2, 3, and then The Search 1 and 2. And I am slowly collecting these because I want to get the entire like comic series and then just binge read them at once, because if I will read them one by one, I will literally die inside until I can get my hands on the next comic book, because these are hard to get your hands on like as physical copies. I'm not sure why. I think they get sold out a lot and then the publishers have to reprint them, and until they reprint them, my soul will wither. So I am slowly collecting these, and I got all 5 of these from Blackwell's, which is a bookshop here in the UK. And if you don't know what Avatar is about, or if you've never heard of Avatar: The Last Airbender, drop everything that you're doing and go watch it, please. I don't know where you have been living this whole time, but go watch it, because this is the best thing that has ever been created. And so with this, I will conclude part 1 of the crazy book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope I will see you in crazy book haul part 2. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!